But I've been playing this game and I just have to show people. So this is Darktide, Warhammer 40k Darktide. It's really good. It's one of those sort of co-op horde shooters, Left 4 Dead, Vermintide style, made by the same guys who made Vermintide. So they, given that Vermintide 2, I haven't played the first one, but Vermintide 2 was a lot of fun, really good, really polished. This really shows that they've moved on to the next thing. It's really good. I dare say it's probably a little better than Darktide. Oh, sorry, Vermintide. It's good fun. As you can tell, I've been playing a fair bit. I have one of each class, and two of them are maxed out. The other two are getting close. But I'm going to start off by showing you a new character experience, just because high-level stuff, I mean, you got to get through the beginning to begin with. So, I really like the character creation in this. It's actually kind of fun. A lot of it has no bearing on the actual game, but it's just kind of fun anyway, all the same. So, first off, you got to pick your class. So here we have the veteran. The veteran's your Call of Duty guy. They're shooting, grenades. That's kind of their thing. They're the army man. Next up, we have the zealot. Now the zealot is a bit more melee focused. You can play them a little bit like the veteran. I mean, they all kind of have access to guns and whatnot, but they're more close up melee. A lot of their abilities are about getting up close and smiting heretics with righteous vengeance. They get access to a couple of weapons that... No, they all get access to a couple of weapons that nobody else can. So, for example, the veteran gets access to the combat shovel. Not as terrible as you might think. I actually rather enjoyed it. And the plasma gun, which I actually haven't tried out yet. The combat shovel is really good, though, because you can kind of flip it over and it's a trench shovel, so you get like smacking wide guys, and you flip it up and you get like a pickaxe for armor piercing. It's kind of fun. I rather like it. The zealot, as I said, they're kind of melee. They charge in and smack guys. They also get grenades. Most of them get grenades, but they get a two-handed chainsword, the Eviscerator. That is a lot of fun. I have seen some with thunder hammers. I don't know any other class that can also get thunder hammers. And the flamers, which are flamethrowers. And anybody who knows me, I love me flamethrowers. One of the selling points for the zealot in my mind. Although my current zealot doesn't have one equipped, although I do have one on that character that I can swap in when I want. This is the one I've been mainly playing. This is the Psyker. In short terms, it's Wizards in Space. And I love me a wizard. They're a lot of fun. They can use guns if you want, but really where they come in is they get psychic staves for cool abilities, and psychic staves are pretty sweet. And they get psychic powers instead of grenades, and if you use all the psychic stuff, you don't need to worry about ammunition, unlike the other three. Instead, you just have to manage your perils of the warp, which is a Warhammer thing. Psychers get their psychic powers by dipping into effectively hell, and doing a little too much can result in bad things from happening. Fortunately, it's not as bad as it can be in the actual 40k universe. You don't summon demons or horrible things. Instead, you just explode and die if you're not careful, which is a lot of fun to manage. Do have the benefit that when you explode, you actually explode, so any enemies around you get killed. So I have had some interesting times with that when I blow myself up by accident. And then finally, my other favorite class, the Ogryn. They're the big boys. They're like ogres. I don't know if you can see the size comparison when they're not standing next to each other, but these guys are huge. Most other characters will come up to their chest. And they're the tanks. They're big, they're bulky, and they get heavy weapons, which is always fun. From like big shotguns to grenade launchers, giant machine guns, things like that. They're a lot of fun. I really like my Ogryn, Mr. Wide. He's great. But then comes down to what character do I want to show you guys, show off as the beginning character. The tutorial's all about the same, but I will show you this tutorial level just because there's a bit of story. It's a lot of fun, and I like to play through it and watch it. But I'm tempted to do the veteran because that's, as I said, kind of your sort of baseline gun guy, but at the same time they're just sort of the baseline boring gun guy. There's not a huge amount going for them beyond that. They're nice, they're simple, they're straightforward. They're the shoot guy stuff. So it's Zealot, similar, they get guns and stuff, but they're a bit more melee focused. Though the Zealot gets melee options, you see there, got the sword, and pretty much all options can be melee or range, depending on how you want to build them. They've got skill trees, and you can build them up for all sorts of sort of options. The Psykers get 3 main psychic powers and a couple of things. And yeah, they all have some good skill tree options, which you can respec at will. But for the sake of this, we will... Actually, I wanted to make a Zealot, just because personalities, I suspect, should be quite interesting with that. So we will do the Zealot. Now, here's where the fun part comes. The bits that follow have no bearing whatsoever on the game, as far as I know. They're just fluff for your character, which I think is a great bit to sort of build your character, give yourself a background that just gives it some flavour for you. It's not really for anybody else, it's just for you. So we have which homeworld do you come from? We've got, and I have no idea how to pronounce half of these. Rokrella, it's an agri-world, so basically a farm planet, builds grain, a bit backwards because it's all, people working in the soil, honest and hard-working folk apparently. You have a minor shrine world, Marcellana Gloriosa, which I think may have been where my Psyker started out. We have a newly colonized world, mineral resources, Cadia, which is a fun one. And if you know your lore, Cadians are... Cadia got blown up. In 40k lore, the Cadians themselves are a bit miffed about it. A lot of the guardsmen out there in the universe come from Cadia, and I believe picking Cadia does give you some specific customization options. You can have purple eyes if you come from Cadia, but nowhere else, and the guardsman has a special personality that's Cadian only. And then we've got Mornax, Grim Mining World, Hellish Conditions, Hardy, and Dower Populace. I think that's where Mr. Wide comes from memory. I know he was a mine worker in his youth, so I may have had him come from Mornax. So we've got considered the second world, large shrine world. Actually, no, this is where my Psyker came from, with the large shrine world. So that's basically the whole planet's dedicated to prayer and ritual reverence for the saints of the Imperium and the Emperor, that sort of thing. We've got an ocean world, naval despot Incrum, and Brax Magna, the big industrial world, likely a hive city. Hive planet. Sort of like Coruscant, but like 100 times more polluted. Is that how that goes in the 41st millennium? So our Holy Zealot will come from... Let's make him come from the Hive City, Hive World. Then you've got your childhood. What did you do as a kid? So, and these are actually all different depending on, I believe, the planet that determines it, because different planets have different circumstances. Your class may have something to do with it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I've only made the 4 characters, so I haven't had too much back and forth through this. Though, as I said, it's fun to go through. So we've got Hive Urchant, living on the streets, Leech Harvester, so kid that basically had their growing up looking for the Sump Leech is a predatory worm that thrives in polluted brackish water. Has pharmaceutical value, although the poorest communities also harvest them for food. Fantastic. 40k. Good times, good times. Alright, next up we have a stink skin apprentice. So it's tanning. And if you know anything about the actual real life tanning process, there's all sorts of horrid chemicals involved. It's probably how they got a stink skin. Although they do. Oh, oversized vermin. That could also be where they get it from. Nauseating produces craftspeople with a discerning eye and strong stomachs. That could be it. Here we've got progenitor, which means that they were brought up in basically an orphan school. That could be an option for our zealot. Now I'm probably spending way too much time going over this. As I said, it has no bearing. It's just a bit of flavour for the characters. Apprentice scribe. That's another option, I suppose. Dredger, lowest rung. So basically just a factory worker and labourer. Military lackey. So for the kids, this basically means they run around carrying ammo and stuff for the soldiers, helping them out as a kid. Or a sludger. Potable water imported from area, but supplemented by large purifying stations, which collect water from underground streams, polluted rivers, or atmospheric condensers. So basically a Fallout moisture farmer, Luke Skywalker. Yeah, you know what? Let's do Luke Skywalker. Let's do moisture farming. All right. So then growing up, so this would be a teenage, early adulthood, I think. There aren't a lot of options for folk like you growing up, but you had to find your way to overcome the trials of youth by fair or foul means. So we have going on a pilgrimage. Would make sense for a priest or a zealot, provided they were in fact a holy person, not just someone who has a lot of faith and zeal and just goes from there. True calling takes many forms. I think the growing up might be specific to your class, actually. Isolated, self-reliance, being a lowly scribe, saw the light, or injured. Most Elitist followers of the Imperial cult hold the deep-seated belief that heretics and traitors are infiltrating all levels of Imperium. Let's see. No, let's... What were they doing before? That's right, moisture farming. Okay. So, we'll go from moisture farming to pilgrimage. So they left their farm, go on a little wander, and then they had a defining moment. A mutant incident. Seeing mutation as a cause that leads only to corruption. Tracking down holy relics and martyrs. Turns out fakes, but doesn't stop brisk trade. They find a strange artifact on pilgrimage. That could work. Encounter with heretics. That is always a good one. Hunted. Upsetting criminal underworld. Nah, we won't go that for a pilgrimage. Illness. The voices or cult contact. I think strange artifact. Okay, now body type. I have a female as my main, so I'll make a male this time. Alright, now face. Well, first off, we'll just clean shave him, and then we'll add facial hair later on. As we go. So we've got some nice face options. Scarred up. So they haven't tried to make everybody pretty, which I think is probably good for the 40k universe. There's a couple that aren't too bad, but these are not people that have lived good lives to whole and hearty. Basically, for those who have played Space Marine, if you want to feel like a superhero, play Space Marine. In this one, you play basically the bottom rungs of humanity. So if you want to feel like the underdog, this is the game to go. He's pretty good looking, but we're not necessarily looking for good looking. I don't know, I almost think this guy might be a bit of a nutter when we're done with him. Yeah, I like that face. We'll go with that. And then skin color. Let's see. Moist Farmer on a Hive City, going on pilgrimage. Yeah, we've seen a bit of sun, but he's not the healthiest fella. Alright, what else we got here? There we go, eye colour, and here we got the Homeworld Cadians. You got some purple eyes. So they're not the brightest purple eyes, but it is a fun little fact of the 40k universe. People from Cadia, because it used to sit right next to a giant hole in the universe that bled into hell. The resultant of our planet is on the doorstep to hell is we had a slight mutation to the eyeballs on the planet. Hairstyle. Actually, if I want to make another, there is a hairstyle I've seen, but I think it'll just be fun. Here it is. Look at that. There's a man who's sane. I mean, that one's pretty close, but look at that. It's just cool. All right. Now, how crazy do we want to go with the hair? That's the question. A little mustache. Got the muttons. Crazy little Irishman. Full-on beard. Oh, I do like those big muttons. But Mr. Wide's got muttons, so I don't want to go too hard with just muttons. Alright, not too far. We got the hair color. Let's see. Oh my god, he's so evil. He looks like a villain. I like that. Might actually do that. Yeah, you know what? Let's give him a little goatee. And we've got hair color, of course. Let's see. Old man. Well, actually, no. Let's lean into the secretly a supervillain. There we go. All right. So we got facial tattoos. Some of them have some fun writings. For those who don't know, 40k is all about the religious, especially as far as the human society goes, all about religious zeal and fervor. So they have a bunch of things like for the emperor, service eternal, a bunch of stuff like that. Plus some just fun gang tattoos, pennants. He's got a teardrop there, something on his neck. Okay, the guys also get the Sister of Battle Fleur-de-lis. Fleur-de-lis on the cheek, they get some eyeliner, and they actually, under the eyebrows, get coloured in case you want to, I don't know, just flat skull, nothing interesting. I believe there are also some class-specific tattoos that you can get, because I can't see the eyeball I've got on my Psyker. They've got an eyeball tattooed in the center of their head. They've got one there on their neck with the Inquisition symbol there. Let's do... Yeah, let's just slap a skull on that one. Then we got body tattoos. Depending on how crazy you want them to look. Got skulls there. Probably spending way too much time here on a demo, but that's okay. Just want you guys to know just sort of what options you get. Like, it's not the most detailed character creator, but you know what? It's fun. You have a good play around with it. Yeah, let's just get that big eye in the center for our zealot crazy man. Oh, don't worry, he'll get a shirt in a second. When you do character creator, you got to see all they've got, especially with body tattoos. Would you hate it if you had a shirt on, pick tattoos, and then you get something that shows a bit of the body, and then it looks all weird. Alright, then we got scars. Can't have this guy looking too pretty. This is the 41st millennium after all. So, let us have a look here. We got some burns, we got some big gashes and stitches. Let's go. Yeah, let's do that. He's been through some stuff. Slap that on there. And then we have height. I have no idea if height has anything to do with game mechanics. It might make you harder to shoot or whatnot. I don't know. I just had fun with it. I made my Psyker and my Ogren as big as possible. My Veteran is average height, and I made my first Zealot really short, she's this like crazy little Irish firecracker. So if this guy, let's just make him really just a tall guy, just a really tall guy. Alright, and that's the end of that.
Life without faith is mere existence beneath the all-consuming shadow of heresy, without so much as a candle to hold that darkness at bay. It is the fate of some to pass from this life as mere kindling, whereas mine is to light the flame. And I see that I am needed in this place, at this hour. For is it not said that if 10,000 feckless souls burn in the flames of perdition to awaken the fervor of one righteous man, then the Emperor rejoices? Aye, it is.
So this is probably the most important decision you can make. All your cosmetic, or most of your cosmetics, can be changed once you get started. But your personality is expensive to change. And this will affect the dialogue that you have between the characters. Because, oh yes, the characters chat to each other. It's fantastic. They have some great chats. Every personality has some different opinions of every other type of character. Some of the Zealots, for example, really hate Psykers and will make their feelings known, and others are like, well, necessary evil, we'll get along and everything like that. It's stuff like that. It's a lot of fun hearing the different dialogue lines, and that alone is worth making multiple characters. So here we got the Fanatic. This guy sounds like a sort of middle grade sort of fella, calm. He's very obviously the Zealots. They're going to be very, for the Emperor, praise be holy works, etc. All of them. He seems sort of middle ground, a little bit on the crazy side, but not too bad.
Without hope, there is no purpose to revenge. Without justice, the wounded perish and wicked prosper. For what is there to prevent these things? Justice, more than anything, was the gift bequeathed by the Emperor of mankind. And I shall see it carried to all corners of his Imperium. But make no mistake. Justice plays no favorites. And nor do I. The corrupt should fear me as readily as the heretic or the traitor.
So this guy has strong vigilante vibes to me. I don't know what you think, but that's fun. He seems fairly calm, level-headed in the grand scheme of things. Unlike the Fanatic.
Glory to the good Emperor! Death to the heretics!
Bear witness to the rewards of sin!
Haste ye, kindred! I hunger to chastise!
I do like both male and female Zealots have an Irish option. Can't remember if the other Irish option is also a Fanatic or if it's a different title. But I do find that amusing. And
this is simply unacceptable. I am a chosen emissary of the Master of Mankind. I am not some common criminal to be shackled and tormented by jailers who, if I am to be kind, hail from amongst the basest and most inadequate simpletons who clingeth like limpets to humanity's lowest rung. And as for my crimes, that Hablock was steeped in heresy. Its denizens a wicked brand of apostates and ne'er-do-wells. When the enforcers refused to take action, what else was I to do?
Okay, I think this voice matches the mad villain appearance we worked on, so we're going to go with the agitator. Alright, and then the other semi-important thing, this will determine your starting costume, as in what colour you have, and also why you're imprisoned. Dereliction of duty, insubordination, sedition, or misplaced faith. I think for my Zealot we won't go with misplaced faith. It just, could just mean that he believes something slightly different, but no, we're not going to do that. I think Let's do. No, you know what? Screw it. Misplaced faith. He's too crazy for the Imperium. That's why he was sentenced. Let's do that. And then we have a name. We could randomize a name, or we could just give him a name. We will call him. What will we call him? Anybody in the chat? I will take suggestions. While I'm thinking, unless I come up with something before somebody puts something. Let's see. What do we want to call him? Although I do like the default was Dickot. He does sound like a Dickot. Oh yeah, and also if you look there, it has the a breakdown of the little backstory that we made with our little choices. Born on Branks Magna, as a child was assigned to the work groups that waded through the narrow ducts of the purifying stations, scrubbing the filtration vents clean of accumulated toxic sludge. When they came of age, they were taken on a lengthy pilgrimage that led them to several holy shrines across the Mobian Dominion, and while on pilgrimage they found a reputed treasure and became obsessed that it might be a holy relic with fantastic powers. They were declared unfaithful by the famous Deacon of Cruces. Most known charge stemmed from the audacity of questioning the deacon's lavish lifestyle, but she was sent to prison to the prison ship, the Tancred Bastion, all the same. You were aboard the Tancred Bastion en route. Oh, sorry, you are on board the Tancred Bastion en route to Atoma Prime, and we shall call him Basil. Oh, actually, I like the idea of Basilisk. We'll call him Basilisk. Alright. And then that should be us ready to go. What? Please make sure the name contains 3 letters. Did I? Oh, I was not aware it had punctuation in it. Oh. I see what the problem is, I think. Basilisk, get rid of the space. Is that where you're upset? Yes, that is where I was upset. And we'll play through the prologue so you guys can see it. It's a fun little prologue. As prologues go, it's pretty short. It's pretty straightforward. And it has some great little cinematics. So let's just watch these and pass. Here we go.
Prisoners all secure, ma'am.
I'll check for myself if you don't mind.
Of course, ma'am. But do be wary. Every one of them's a filthy heretic.
That one certainly is. Keep him intact. No accidents. My master wants to interrogate him as soon as we reach the hive.
Of course, ma'am. Upon my life.
This one, however.
Makes you wonder why we even bother shipping trash like that. Save a lot of data slate work just to process the execution notice now.
What do you say, criminal? Shall I put you out of your misery?
And ours, you would.
Be quiet. Well? Nothing to say?
I'm trustworthy. Just look at me.
This is a mistake. I am a loyal servant of the throne.
But of course. I'll just let you out now, then.
Shame you'll never get to prove that.
Yep, damn shame.
Private Terror! We're boarded!
Catapult now!
I love this bit. Look at that guy. He's just running. He's happy with his job. Living his best life. The man has a dream, and nothing is going to stop it. Look at him go. Oh, such grace. Such majestic form. Good times. I just love that slow-mo. It's so good. It made me laugh the first time so bad.
Come with us, brother. We have a way out. do about that one? Nothing. The Poxers will be here to feed soon enough.
Damn Poxers. But handy dandy hole. And now I'm a madman with a shovel. Sadly, tutorial shovel is not the cool one you get later on. It flips the
I shall
head.
not perish here, not whilst there are heretics to yet chastise.
Go through the tutorial. It teaches you how to do stuff. Oh, I'm good. Okay. And then we do what the Emperor gave us a shovel to do. And you got blocks, and you can shove. So for anybody who's played Vermintide, the melee works pretty much the same. You've got dodging left and right, and you got your block, you got your shove, and you got smacks, you got heavy attack, light attack, and stuff like that. So yeah. Good enough to get the job done. It feels really good. Lots of different weapons that play different ways. It's good stuff.
Laxness and indolence on every hand.
I need armed and response teams in the Block 87 Bay area. Bastards, there's no end to them.
There we go. Heavy attack. Good for heavy armored guys like this fella. And you also sometimes get wide sweeps on some weapons. Taking it too easy. Wasn't paying attention.
Master of mankind, grant me strength.
Where are my carking reinforcements? Security stations are overrun. We'll have to hold them in prisoner containment.
Keep going, keep running. Another dude. Get off me. Oh yeah, I forgot, when you do a shove there's also a follow-up attack if you keep holding attack, which in some weapons is really good. The dagger one's quite good. You sort of push them forward and give them a shank, like a forward stab. That's fun. I like the daggers. The daggers are fun. Unlike Vermintide, this one does have a bit more of a ranged focus, but obviously at the moment we only got a gun. Although, as I said, 100% build yourself to be a melee powerhouse. So I tell you now, there are certain circumstances, especially because, like any sort of cooperative zombie game, there be hordes, and those hordes will gain on you. And they don't care how many headshots you give a couple of guys in front, the horde will keep going, and having something that just sort of takes out a wide bunch of them is kind of what you need sometimes. So being a melee powerhouse in a team can be so good. There we go, now we got a boomstick. Is that a las rifle or an auto gun? Looks like an auto gun. I think that's a standard clip in the side there.
Great. You come for blood too, criminal? You said you were a loyal servant of the throne.
I did.
Why does a Lav's pistol have rifling on the barrel? Random question. That looked like it had rifling. I just don't know why a laser gun needs rifling.
Then prove it.
Alright. Now we have gun. I like gun. Gun is good. And you get a nice selection of guns. There's a bunch that feel different. Pistols aren't terrible. In fact, the bolter pistol is such a good weapon. It's one of my favorites.
I'm giving you a chance. Cross me and you're dead. You understand, criminal?
Perfectly.
Oh, sorry. Watch it there.
Understood.
Stairs. I think. Yep. I remember this being the right way. Okay. Can come apart nicely.
You're actually not bad at this.
The master guideth my hand.
The Zealot doesn't sound quite as manic as I thought it would be. Oh. You okay there? Yep, you're okay there. Alright, moving on. And some of the little animations that you get is pretty good. Another thing I like about the daggers is while you're fighting with the daggers, you like flip them and do stuff. There's a thunder hammer. So there's an Ogryn versus a normal person. As I said, Ogryns were big fellas. And Ogryns are fun. I mean, the guys get big guns. They're great. Yeah, big guns, big weapons. You can totally be like a heavy weapons Ogryn built to just suppress and blow guys up with heavy weapons, or be like a melee guy who just charges in and knocks people over and just wrecks people with your weapon. Then there's the middle ground. There's also like the tank. You can be the party tank with some taunts and things like that. They get they're the only class that gets a shield on one of their melee weapons. They get like a mason shield, which is an option that they actually get on the tabletop to get the Bullgrim shield. Good times. So this part of the game pretty much plays the same regardless of which class you're playing. Actually, I don't have any of the special abilities or whatnot yet. If I just had my Zealot special ability, I'd be charging at them and things like that. And that is the end of the tutorial. Well, not the tutorial, the prologue. There is a tutorial quest that you get the first time you play each class, which won't activate for me, I don't think, because I've already done it with the Zealot.
You helped me. Maybe I can help you. No promises. You'll probably wind up dead.
I was dead anyway.
Very poetic. Just don't tell anyone I let an escaped prisoner save my life. You'll be more than dead.
Let's get the hell out of here. And you're home from now until you're no longer of use to us. Report to the Strategium at once. And don't make me regret sparing your life.
And when you start off, of course, you'll have your prison duds. Playing the game, unlocking achievements and things like that will earn you more outfits. I actually have a few. If it'll let me... No, won't let me fiddle with them at the moment. I think I've got to go to the Strategium first. This plays sort of a cutscene that gives you the lowdown on the game. I think? No? This is not the one I thought it was. Different cutscene.
Ah, so the next step before we can...
Is this kind of no-oper the best we can recruit these days?
This one could be useful. Claims to be a loyal servant of the throne.
I like Mara. Mara's cool.
Sounds great.
This
I'm
is...
Sergeant Major Morrow. You're fresh meat. Mission briefings come through me. Let's see what you can do.
All right. Get to the Psychanium.
I was actually going to make me do the Psychanium stuff. Thought I'd bypass that because...
So far, so good. Next up, you're to report
Nope.
to Stephanie at the
Okay.
Psychanium for
I
additional
thought you
training.
skipped that.
Take my advice. Don't stare. She doesn't like it.
You must be the new recruit Explicator Zola spoke of. If I'm honest, and I am seldom otherwise, I am not impressed. No wonder she recommended you for further training. Welcome to the meat grinder. Everything here may feel real, but don't worry. You won't get hurt, not unless you anger Persephone. Don't be alarmed by my little puppets, but do shoot them, or hit them, a lot, with whatever weapon takes your fancy. They won't feel it. They're not real. They exist only so that you can learn more about me and about the weapons you carry. Stay as long as you like. Stephanie likes the company and the taste of your bloodlust.
So this is where you can go test out builds and whatnot in the meat grinder. But I'll just do the basics. I thought I'd bypass this, but apparently not. That's okay.
This is the Psychanium, a place of torture. I mean, training. Shall we start? You can chain light or heavy attacks in any order. Chained attacks have different angles of attack and damage properties.
I'll run you through the
Some
basics so you know what you're
weapons
playing.
have a powerful
Ah,
special
chainsword.
attack. Others have a special ability that changes their next attack.
There we go, that looks better. Gotta love a
Pushing
chainsword.
can stagger groups of enemies. Pushing requires stamina. Grenades can be equipped and thrown. Each class has access to different grenades.
So, the Zealot gets a stun grenade to begin with. They do unlock other types of grenades later on.
Use your combat ability to rush forward and empower your next melee attack.
That's the Zealot special ability. They get like a charge that boosts their melee.
Dodging allows you to evade range fire and melee attacks. Enemy attacks initially damage your toughness. Once your toughness is broken, they damage your health. Additionally, enemy attacks will stagger and stun you. Killing enemies in melee replenishes toughness. Each nearby teammate also grants toughness regeneration. That marks the end of basic training.
Yeah, why do the
You are
additional
now
training?
ready to serve.
Because I've already gone through that and I mean, it's just more teaching you how to play the game. So if you want to play the game, it'll teach you how to play the game. Alright, there we go. Now we got the inventory. So here's where you update your weapon selections as you unlock more weapons. At the moment, you start off with only one, and you get your cosmetics. Things like insignias that appear beside your name. You can get backpack. I forgot I had that. Just unlocked that recently on doing all the achievements and stuff. Actually, you know what? I'll slap that on there. I won't do any of the other costume items. I've got a couple there. But for now, we'll just stick with the prisoner. But I'll have a book because the book is cool. Oh.
Let's hope you don't disappoint.
And this cutscene's a bit long, and just basically gives you the rundown of Hive City and the planet you're orbiting. Has been overrun by cultists and Nurgle, and that the Inquisitor is going to use you to sort out the problem. It's a bit lengthy, and honestly I think I just want to get to a mission for you, so you can see what the missions are like, rather than getting all the fluff. So we'll just skip that cutscene. So the cutscene is good, just sort of immerse you into the world, but so I'm trying to get to the missions so I can just go, hey, here you go. Alright, now we have missions.
So now you know what's at stake. The Inquisitor clearly thinks you have what it takes.
Now wandering around this hub is
is
third person, so it's a nice chance for you to get a good look at your character. But the actual game itself, as you saw, is first person.
I can't have you executed. Not yet. This is the heart of the operation. Your best friend if you want to stay in my good books. Atoma's in trouble. No two ways about it. The only hope we have in this mess lies in us sending our strike teams where they're needed. Making a difference wherever we can. For as long as we're still breathing. No guarantees on that last bit, by the way. So, ready to be a hero? Then think again. You're a reject. Fight like it.
That pretty much sums up the game. You're not a hero. You're a dredger. Alright, so I believe from the story snippets you get by playing missions, there is some sort of story happening. I'm not 100% sure on the order these things happen, but as a rule, I generally play by quick play. Oh no, I got a trust level for this mission 3, so I can't do... Oh, it's because I had it. It keeps your difficulty settings across characters. Let's just do easiest difficulty for a fresh character. So you guys got baseline weapons and no extra abilities, and as you increase the difficulty, things can get a bit hairier. So we'll just show what the opening sort of thing. As I said, got a new character, as close to new player experience as I can kind of manage, just to sort of show what your opening will look like. So because I've done quick play, I'll